Hey, everybody. You are about to hear a brief retelling of the movie First Kid. Enjoy the movie. Luke Davenport is an unusual teenager. He is the son of the President of the United States of America. The kid, as usual, mocks his bodyguard, making them always late, and then throws the blame on the mustache. At the same time, Secret Service agent Sam Sims uses his official position to be the first to get fresh donuts while the mall is still closed. The warden reprimands the Joker. With this approach to his job, he'll never make it into White House security. The motorcade with the First Lady and her son stopped in front of that very mall. Luke has to buy school supplies with a smile on his face like the most normal kid. The young man is surrounded by a crowd of journalists to capture the president's son with his mom buying a new suit. They try to show that the head of the country has an ordinary family like all Americans. At one point, the mustachioed man let himself go too far and forcefully dragged the kid into the fitting room. Linda asked the head of security to find another agent who knows how to work with children. Suddenly Luke showed his bare ass from behind the curtain and Sims bravely covered it with his body. Seems like the best candidate, but the grief-stricken agent has a lot of violations. The transmitter in his ears makes him anxious and the body armor makes him allergic. Sims saw his new assignment as a punishment. No agent would want to be a babysitter. Luke immediately began bullying Simpson, scaring him with his python. The boy himself is reprimanded by the president's dad. 2 months later, the election and antics like the one at the store ruin his reputation. Late one night, Luke goes to walk the dog without permission. Sensors went off and floodlights came on, and police and security agents surrounded the lawn. Sims covered the kid, saying they were just playing hide and seek, but the boy was so sick of the attention that he just silently headed back to the White House. Luke was chatting with his peer and introduced himself as a normal boy. When the kid went to bed, Sims stopped by the bar for a drink and met the mustachioed man. "It was hell on earth," admits the agent. "I have never been so happy to finish the assignment," and only the boss told the truth. He was actually fired. Sims brought the kid to his new school and took his place at the desk, because he is obliged to protect the president's son even during his studies. The teacher has her eye on Sims, and one of his classmates has her eye on the boy. In the evening, Luke has to attend a social event, and he thought of nothing better than to take the python with him. Sims thought the kid looked suspicious and ran into the hall. He soon found the snake and went under the table to get it. One lady decided that this pervert decided to look under her skirt and screamed at the top of her voice. The rest of the guests saw the python. There was panic and crush, and Sims was covered with a thick layer of gourmet food. At school, he never leaves Luke's side. The boys mock him for it and call him a wuss. The boy asked him to leave him alone, at least for a while, and when Sims stepped away, a classmate bully went straight to Luke. Apparently, the president's son thinks he's better than the others if he eats lunch separately. The bodyguard decided to let Luke solve the problem himself. The kid wanted to just leave, but Rob kept up with him and Luke compared his ass to his face. The bully took away the backpack and started taunting the boy's father. Luke retaliated by punching as hard as he could, but that only caused the kids to laugh. He himself began to be pushed around by the crowd. Sims realized it was time to intervene, but he didn't have time, and the president's son received a powerful blow to the face. The agent is attacked by Susan's teacher, who doesn't seem to be doing his job at all. Sims thinks that spoiled Luke got exactly what he deserved, but he suggested that Luke learn to box, because he's here to protect Luke from psychopaths, not 30-year-old classmates. The First Lady interrupted the president's meeting with the generals to show him Luke's broken face. The parents decided that their troubled son would remain under house arrest while the presidential campaign was underway. The boy is upset and hides in a secret room to cry. Luke is worried because no one wants him. He never sees his parents, he has no friends, and he has never kissed a girl. The poor boy taunts Sims. His father died in Vietnam when he was 4 years old, and his mother worked 3 jobs to feed the family. So he suggested that the boy not whine, but get out of that hole and eat a sandwich in the kitchen. Sims went to a technician he knew, a former agent, and asked him for a tracking device, and he gave him a locket with a transmitter hidden inside. Sims put the jewelry around Luke's neck so he wouldn't get lost. At recess, Katie suggested that Luke go to the movie theater after school, but alas, he can't go out like that. In his room, he started crying again and was going to run away from home, and then Sims suddenly offered to take him to the city secretly. Only Luke must promise that he will not try to escape. If someone from the guards knocks on the boy, Luke's voice will answer the program that he downloaded from the internet. Luke himself disguised himself, and Simmons' assistant, a real genius, didn't recognize him, of course. However, the plan failed when Luke himself accidentally gave himself away in the car, but Sims suggested to his partner to relax anyway. They have already left. Dash didn't give in to any entreaties until Sims told him that he would have to take it out on him. The first thing Sims did was bring the kid to the boxing gym. The agent had been a great fighter in his youth, but had stopped going to the gym when he started working for the government. Sims asked the kid for a punch, and he got punched in the same place. The man was pulled away from the punching bag by a young boxer to teach Luke, and then asked the senior citizen to show his best punch. In the evening at the entrance to the White House, conspirators almost got caught, but helped the dog, which they allegedly decided to walk before going to bed. The trips to the gym continued. Inept learned what a sport is, and Sims continues to attend classes with him and experience school pranks. In response, the agent threatened Rob with his gun. The next time, he himself stuck the bully in the bully's face with a large slobbering paper. In the mess hall, Sims is finishing Luke's meal, ostensibly to see if the food is poisoned. He leaves his ward alone so he can talk to Katie. The agent himself is standing next to the teacher. The girl invites Luke to come to her birthday party. But even Sims resists. He can't leave the president's son alone without supervision, but Luke has learned perfectly well what blackmail is and threatens the agent that he will tell his parents about his training. The father called and Sims had to agree, provided Luke didn't give himself away. He took the kid to Rollerdrome, but the big guy stood out among the kids, so Luke made him code and wear a Coke costume. As Sims crashed into the wall, Luke sat on Katie's tail and eavesdropped on her discussing him with her girlfriends. The host announces that there will be a dance for two and Katie is paired with bully Rob, although the girl herself is still hoping Luke will come. The kid doubts who she wants to be with, him or that red-headed asshole. Luke made himself known, and then Sims was once again spun around and pointed in the direction of the birthday cake. He flew into it and turned the confection into crumbs. Rob laughed and was immediately sent flying by an upset Katie. Luke is nervous. He wants to ask Katie to the dance that is about to take place at school, and in order not to slow down, he asks his friend for help. He tells him what to say into the transmitter. Sims gave him a lot of advice, going around and around until the girl is not tired of the indecision of a classmate. Katie said a decisive yes, and happy Luke went to prepare for the important event, but then the boy remembered that he could not dance and got upset. Sims helped him with this too. He showed him his best moves and gave him advice to go to the center of the crowd. Then almost no one will see how the boy dances, and meanwhile at the main entrance someone left a backpack. Because of this, the son of the president was forbidden to leave the building until the suspicious object is not dealt with by specialists, but Sims is used to breaking the rules, so despite the order brought Luke to the dance. The guy showed up just in time, because Rob wanted to hit on Katie. The couple immediately went to dance, but Luke's movement causes bewilderment at Katie and laughter at the classmates. But Susan, the teacher, appreciates Agent's moves. It's time for the slow dance. Luke is even now waiting for support from his older friend, and Rob is not happy that the girl was taken away from him. In the meantime, the Python got free and jammed the keys on the keyboard, causing the prepared phrases to play one after another. Agents burst into the room and saw that the president's son had disappeared. When the evening of dancing was in full swing, the chubby one got nervous and wanted to fight again. Only Luke already knows how to defend and how to attack, so soon the bully was on the floor. Then the president's guards entered the room, saying goodbye. Katie asked Luke to call her. The boy was returned to the White House and Sims was made to surrender his dog tags and weapons. He stated that Luke was a normal kid and should be treated as such, but the supervisor didn't care what he said and chased the intruder away. He put an electronic bracelet on the boy and told him that he would not leave the building until his parents returned. Luke contacted his pen pal and he suggested that he run away to meet him at the mall. At this point, the boy's pen pal was sitting in a car near the White House and he began to describe to Luke how he could remove the bracelet. In the morning, the bracelet ended up on the dog and Luke left the building through a secret exit. Soon all the agents learned about the escape and immediately came to Sims, because it was he who taught the boy bad things. Everyone went in search of the fugitive. The boy has long wanted to be in virtual reality, so gladly parted with $10 to try on a huge helmet. Sims ran to the technician to find out where Luke is now, and the former special agent immediately called the Secret Service because he guessed that the president's son was in trouble. When Luke finished playing and took off his helmet, he was grabbed by Agent Mustache, who had been texting him all along. The guy lied about being sent to get the kid from the White House. Wheelchair rushed to stop the perp and Sims jumped from the second floor. Mustache shoved people in the crowd and dragged the kid behind him by the scruff of his neck. The wheelchair user ran down the escalator, almost killing the customers, but in no time he was in front of the former agent. Sims comes running up. Luke begs to be saved. The mustachioed man punches the invalid and points a gun at Sims. In all his troubles, the loser blames it on the boy. He comes up with an ingenious plan to lure Luke out and then return him to the White House and become a hero. Suddenly, the man started shooting at Sims and discharged his entire clip while the agent hid behind the counter. Luke prevented him from reloading and Sims ran toward the criminal and knocked the gun away from him. A struggle ensued between the two and Sims emerged victorious. Sims was sure that the boy was safe, but the man pulled out a second gun. The agent selflessly rushed towards the kid and took the bullet instead of him, and the former colleague was finally finished off by Agent Dash. The boss informed the hero that he was transferred to the security of the president himself, which Sims had dreamed of for so long. But the man has already found his dream job. Luke, in gratitude for the rescue with all his might, charged the bodyguard with a puck in the forehead.